Hello guys, and welcome back to another YouTube educational short. So today I'm coming on to discuss performance enhancing drugs in females. Oh dear, he said it. Yeah, I know. Okay, so it seems to be a very taboo subject, which is actually becoming more and more spoken about now, which is brilliant. You know, it's something that I feel has its place, it's relevant. Why should it be any different to male performance enhancing drugs? Why should it be any different in the whole bodybuilding realm? It shouldn't. However, I feel that it needs to be discussed more because it is still such a very misunderstood area. It's an area that I feel like for a lot of females, it brings up a lot of fear because it's been sort of tainted and shunned for so long. And I feel that the main reason that is because most people don't understand it, or most people have been running female PEDs as if they would male PEDs, and it's caused endless amounts of issues, which has created this taboo. Now, so let's take an example here. So a female, completely natural, wants to start performance enhancing drugs. They are looking to go for a pro card. They are looking to put every nut, bolt, everything into the basket at once and literally do everything they possibly can. So what are the considerations that we have to take into account here? Now, you can't treat a female like a male. It's just absolutely absurd. And I'm hoping this is a pretty obvious one, but it seems to not be the case. Now, why is that? Firstly, one's a male, one's a female, obviously. They respond very, very differently. Females are very sensitive to androgens. So therefore, we probably want to keep those as a last resort. And when we do so, very, very small amounts. So that's X, Y, and Z. Where do we start on A, B, and C, for example? So it's going to sound really boring, but first things first, you want to make sure the foundations are in place. So how is their sleep? How is their training? How is their nutrition? How is their mindset? How are their hormones? If all 5 of those are perfectly in place, then you're pretty clear sailing to start introducing some bits and bobs that are going to help assist. Now, where do we want to start first of all? The non-androgenic or hormonally changing things first of all. So we could be looking down the realms of clenbuterol, which is going to help in regards to the lipolytic process. It's going to help in regards to anaerobic capacity. Same with the himbine, exactly the same thing. We could look down the route of L-carnitine. Now, this is going to be an amino acid that's suppressed in water-based. Again, it's going to help in regards to the mobilization of free fatty acid oxidization. Also help as a nutrition partitioner. Same with metformin, exactly the same health properties. It's going to work as a glucose disposal agent. What else have we got here? We've got ARB, such as telmisartan. Have I missed anything out? I believe at the moment, oh, sorry, exogenous thyroid hormone, so T3 and T4. Again, it's going to help support the body in its normal function of thyroid axis. Now, these could be obvious things like, oh, well, I kind of knew that. Yeah, because we want to start small. We want to start careful. You know, the idea is a performance enhancing drug. It's not smash the granny out of one aspect and then just deal with the problems afterwards. We want to have multiple pathways that can impact the body in positive ways. So the best analogy I use for this is, let's imagine 5 lanes of traffic all merging into one to go through one tunnel. That's going to create a shit ton of backlog, a shit ton of congestion, and just like problems. Now, let's say, for example, we take those 5 lanes of traffic and take 5 tunnels. How efficient is that going to run? How effective is that going to be compared to the 5-to-1 ratio? And it's exactly the same. And this is where I think it's got a little bit murky in regards to female PED and potentially male PEDs as well, because it can be put in the same aspects. But if someone's like, right, let's bang Primo or let's bang Anavar, yeah, of course, it's going to have an impact. Yeah, of course, it's going to create a desired effect of what we want, which is more hypertrophy, more performance, better recovery. It's going to have all of those aspects, but at what risk? How much congestion and how much traffic are you building up off the back of that? How much exposure and time are you allowing yourself under those circumstances before negative side effects happen? So I'm not saying don't use Anavar. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there are many things that can be used before that, and things that can be used in a safer manner for a much longer period of time. Because this is the thing that I think a lot of people also neglect in regards to the performance side of things, is that taking one might not hurt, taking a week's might not hurt, but the Russian roulette game that you are playing it's often not the dose, it's the duration of time that you run it. And something I learned from Joe is that you have a cup, and as a female, you have this space in the cup of free time without any virilization or without any side effects. And let's say as exposure goes on, week after week, month after month, this cup fills up, this cup fills up. Once the cup is full, the cup is full. You can stop, you can take a break, you can take years off. As soon as you come back to it, that cup's still full. So anything that spills over off the top of that is gonna be a risk of virilization. Now, this is the thing that we wanna try and avoid. And I've had females in the past that say, I don't care, I don't care. You will care, because you'll get marked down for it. And when you're done with bodybuilding, there's life after that. You don't want to be walking around with virilization side effects or male-induced side effects, because these aren't anything that's going to make you feel good. You might feel okay with it now when you're bodybuilding, but there'll be a time when you won't, and you can't take it back. So we've got the safer side of drugs. We've got the side of drugs that you can use through an off-season, through a prep. We can use them for the longevity of bodybuilding to help and assist. Once you've used all those tools in the basket, then you can then start looking at the more anabolic, androgenic side of things that are going to impact hormones. Where do we go from here? Okay, let's start at the testosterone base. Why would we look anywhere else? However, the difference is, again, males versus females. They are so androgen sensitive that they need a minuscule amount compared to a male. So where male doses typically tend to go from anywhere from 200s to 500s, a female's dose starting point would be 3 milligrams per week. Now, again, the question asked is, bro, how do I measure 3 milligrams out of 300 per mil? You don't, not at all, completely different ball games. Females will have something called femtest, which is diluted massively. It usually comes in 10 milligrams per mil, so it's much easier for the female to measure out. Then you can then start looking at balancing other hormones such as estrogen, progesterone if need be, and this comes from blood work. Then you can then start looking down the routes of in more of a competition phase. So you can start introducing higher doses. You can start introducing other compounds such as Primo or Masteron or Anavar, but short periods of time. This isn't something like a male that you can expose them to for the whole period of prep. We're talking a matter of weeks only, and only 2 to 3 times per year in those short bursts of weeks. So it's how you want to time them and the position you want to put them in, because they are so androgen sensitive that you don't want to risk the side effects of virilization. Once you have exposed them to those drugs though, you need to take precautions in regards to health, and that's for another video. But guys, that's pretty much a start to finish point on female PEDs, where you can start, where you can end, and some of the precautions that you need to take into account. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. Much love, stay blessed, and I will see you all soon.